Nice morning this morning. Dad's out there getting filled up. Garrett's bringing the rye up to top off the Salford there. He spread some yesterday. Gonna work some more ground, might spread a little bit more today. Kaylin and Jarrett and Eli's out cleaning up around the dryer right now. We're also transferring grain. There's two little bins that we cannot dry into, so we're transferring some from that big bin over to those, so we got more drying room. Also transferred some from there to the new bin at David's. Made sure it worked everything for more drying room. Yeah, the dryer ran all night last night. I think got figured out. Got different gates that we use to adjust how much it comes out of the wet tanks. Got them adjusted right to where it keeps up when it calls for corn. Keeps up fine during the day, but nighttime when there's no truck unloading, which keeps everything, the leg full all the time, runs fine then, but at nighttime when it's just pulling out of the hoppers, can pull out fast enough, unless everything adjusts right. So running good. I'm gonna come out and freeze my 50 hours on the auger wagon, which I'm like 15 hours behind on. It's mostly the PTO shaft and the tractor. And we'll get rolling today. Drone's supposed to be in today. 2 days supposed to be in. Fill the hit with the sulfur, looks pretty good. I'm not winning that race.
Well, guess today is day 8 of corn harvest. Everything's running really good. Everything's going great. Combine's been fantastic. Had this track cylinder that's had its bad sensor, but other than that, not one little glitch, no leak, no nothing. We're up here on Taggart Hill today. It's a place you've heard me talk about a lot, but there's a big old hill here where we used to come party when we was kids and stuff, young people, on that big old hill up there. Quite a view from up here. Corn's been running all fairly well the same. It's all good, just a little bit less than we thought, but I guess with everything it went through this year, with the wet and hot, and then turning off dry toward the end, this early corn's doing pretty good. This is Joe Taggart's place right here. There's the big old hill. I'll show you here as soon as I get turned. Charlie Mal's old tractor, I think. Right over there is David's place with the new bin. Got a good view of it from here. Now we're just about to hit the 1,000-acre mark corn, so we'll get past that today. Getting a lot done. Some of this really held on to the green stalk. Dang on. Fungicide must have really worked good this year. Reese planted four different varieties of Pioneer corn in this field, so get a pretty good test on them. What all's in here right now? It's on the screen. I can't already see it, but I know 1136 is in here. It's always really good corn, always one of the top. So we'll see if anything can beat it this year.
4 different hybrids, different spots. We got 13777, which is supposed to be a new hot one, against our old go-to good one 1136. And we also got 15784, which has been really good on the sand in here, against 13841 PCUE. That one's a mouthful. Across the road from David's bins, looking big over there. Eli's mowing along this ditch. Did not spray this one. This is a slough ditch. Got big taxes for it and everything. I didn't talk to them. Maybe in the future, because they get it mowed a lot. But the problem when you mow trees, it seems like they grow back faster. They still got that big old root system. This black sand bottom of the hill here, I think this is the best stuff we've been in. About 250, 260, 270 down here. Nice to be in some nice looking corn again.
Well, we got some wetter corn. We've been picking here on Taggart, and it's been 20, 21. Then we got up here on the hill where it's sandy, and it's wetter than that. Last load was 25.
Boy, that is some green corn. Not very much of it. Healthy though.
Good corn up in here. I guess that's why it's so wet. It stayed greener. It's healthy. Hard to figure out sometimes, but this is where I wanted to be picking anyway. So this moisture's about right. Sapazzo's too wet, but we're picking them. Used the May West stalk stompers now on a few hundred acres, and I'll have to say I'm satisfied with them. Doing what they're supposed to do, lay the stalk over, no trouble with them. They don't drag up. Seem to be pretty tough. I don't know how they'd hold up, you know, 3 or 4 years, but I think okay. So they're doing all right. I'll give the May West stalk stompers a thumbs up.
Heading in. Going by the bin site here at David's. Some of that corn got in the high 20s, so we're shutting her down. That was the last stuff planted that first go around. Just got it while we're in here by the others. We'll head out to some clay fields, see what they're like tomorrow. Get them done. Next 2 days, 2-3 days. After that, I don't know.
What are you doing, Jared?
Oh, just greasing the corn head, get ready for the day.
You got the safety stop down?
Yep.
All right. Don't have to drag you out from under here as a pancake.
Wouldn't be nice.
Kaylin's got a little pyro, what do you call that? Pyromaniac? Yeah. Eli's moving corn. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Getting along good with the dryer. Just getting the corn head ready to go here first thing this morning. The operator's doing some bookwork. We've got some paperwork has to be turned in, so he's working on that.
They're out greasing corn head. New drone's in. It's a Mini 4, and this thing is tiny.
How you getting along with it?
Yeah, I'm getting it hooked up and everything. I just hope it flies better than it looks. It looks cheap just looking at it. We'll see.
Was that a different brand or?
No, it's the same brand, still DJI. That's can't hardly find them anywhere. Found this one in New Jersey. Well, tried it out on Dad when he was leaving and have it report it works. It works good. Camera can actually zoom in 3 times. The old one wouldn't zoom. It also can flip from one direction to the other. I guess if you want to take drones just for Instagram or something like that, or reel or short on YouTube. Yeah, whatever they call it. But yeah, battery seems to last a little while. Probably because it's so light. Anyways, the Mini 4 Pro seems to be good. Heading out
Going up to the Sims farm northwest of us, a few miles furthest away from home we've been. One of the fields we planted early, anxious to see how it is. It's pretty drouthy ground compared to a lot of our ground, but it's planted early, so it should be decent. Boy, if it's planted late this year, our fields, it wouldn't, for that particular field, wouldn't have been very good because we've been too dry for 6-7 weeks. 6 weeks, I guess, no measurable rain amount to anything. But I was wanting to comment on my new tracks. You know, I had the ATIs on the last combine, which I thought was great, and they are. But now on the case, the new models they put on this new track they got, I think maybe a little bit better in the field. I don't know, they're pretty smooth, but I'm going down a rough road, and this is a good ride, and I'm going 24/7. Goes fast and rides pretty good, so I don't know how much better that could be. So I thought it was kind of silly changing tracks from the ATIs, but these I believe are definitely better. And one thing I like about them too, they're shorter. Up the top, they don't go up near as high up against the combine to work on things. Get the things, research, a couple of research there. Want to get to things like that, just not weigh as much, just a little better. And there's some late corn around. Look at that field there, how green that is. That has to be some June corn. This over here is probably middle to the last of May. This guy planted. That's, I don't know when it planted. Boy, that guy weighs it. And probably won't make much this year, especially. Out here on this farm, it's a lighter soil type. Like I said, it's a little different, a little drier, a little drouthier. Planted early. I don't think it's going to make it 200. It's going to be below that. It's not bad, but it's definitely got hurt by the dry weather, even though it was planted probably, I'd have to look it up, but I think about April 20th in that time frame. Not bad corn, but it is very dry. It's probably from 17% to 19 at the most, I'd say. It's almost where we can put it in the bin. I'm not sure till they do a test on it.
Well, it's not very good, but it's far enough away that we had to call in a third truck. Eli brought the green Volvo. And Simone's over there, the green equipment getting ready to go. Kind of neat. I was in here with the planter, he's in that with the planter. We're in here with the combine, now he's in that with the combine.
Still no bean cutting. This is Wednesday, I think, and I'm getting anxious. We got the Gearingoff bad, had it down to H&R because it was wore out. Replaced these pieces in here, these angles, snapping rolls. They were wore out and the corn would get up right at the top and just hang. So got that all done, H&R did. But we got a little to put back together. Took off the, feelers we call them. This contraption here goes between the rows and swings left and right and keeps the header on the row. So there's not a lot to that, but it needs to put back on. Took it off because we thought it'd work on the other head and it just didn't quite fit. But it's just a little wiring and a control box and this feeler, and that's all it needs, and then we'll get it out of here. Probably change it over tomorrow morning. I don't look for them to come in and change heads in the middle of the day unless something happens to the one they got now. But thankfully this all unfolds pretty easy. Shouldn't be much to run on a wire, and we'll be ready to go. You can see there's several clips there. These things where the tie wraps are cut off. They go in there and hold the wire up so don't get the chains. It starts way up front here. So we'll get that done. Be one less thing.
Almost a good playground now, north of the farm, about 2 miles, I guess. And it's, I think this is going to be the best corn been in. It rained a little bit later here, but it did down home a couple of times. It rained here, it didn't rain much at home, but it's still been a long time. The lady lives right up here by this. She always texts me how much rain she got. She's getting a little bit more than we was the last few rains we did get, so I think that helped. And for half of it's 1136 Pioneer and half of it's 13777. And that 13777 is really good corn, so that part of it is fungicide with the hanging. This is one field might make more than I had a guess at, so that's good news. We'll be right in that area. And with that light field we did, it actually made 10 bushel more than I had it guessed at. Even though it was probably 4 acres of it drowned it out. Or it wouldn't have been that much, 2 acres drowned it out down on the better ground, but still did all right. This is the 13777 right here I'm picking right now.
I'm looking at the beans, trying to find a place to start. These are probably ready. May be able to start in the morning. I wonder how many beans there can be on one stalk with 4 to pod. Look at these. This stalk's just here all by itself because of running over plants when we're spraying and different things, fungicide. But there's a lot of four on here. Some 3s, good size 4 there. There's all like that, they'd be really good. Of course they won't be all like that. But I'll get a look out here and see. These are what's right here. They're pretty ripe. Showing out here and see. He's probably below 14. And there's some of these. It's going to be 12. And there's some. You wouldn't be able to see them through the camera. We had to replant. We won't be able to get them yet. We'll just have to leave them. This is a track made by running through here, spraying them fungicide and taking care of the crop. Unnecessary evil, since we don't fly everything on. Get up here on the clay, we'll see how it looks higher on the playground here. You can see these are not, they're not ready, but there's just not a whole lot of that. See, that bean's a butter bean. Problem with that, he'll be stuck on the bin wall when we go to haul them out, and we'll have to scrape the walls off. Usually Garrett does a lot of that, and that ain't much fun. It's never really gotten completely out of hand. It could, and there's always one of these. Now, what happened to that thing? Obviously that's a different bean. Just got mixed in there somewhere. Different variety, different maturity. There's a few of them around. You wait on them. The rest of these will be popped out laying on the ground. And we got spots like that. Just can't cut that. But we got to come back for some replanting anyway. We'll just go around that. Way over there is the replant. I don't know if you can see the green in the distance. We'll have to go around that. You see the dust over there, that's Garrett working ground. I'm getting anxious to start. Maybe we'll give her a try tomorrow. At least cut a load after dinner if nothing else. Just see what they're doing and what the moisture is. Sometimes you get fooled. They may be really dry. Just them spots. A lot of people are spraying the beans like a week ago, killing them. Talked to a man this morning done some of that, and the big advantage is it makes it more even. Gets rid of those little green spots. Maybe we should be trying that. I don't know, get us started earlier, get us done earlier before they get too dry. But you know, everything you put into the crop is more expense. So don't know if it's worth it or not. Don't know until you try it.
I really enjoy staring at dead trees in the ditch bank. There he is. Nice having some bigger yields in this field. This 13777. Last year's score of the year was probably 1790 WQ, and then several years before that was probably 1136 AM. 13777. I don't know if it's going to be or not, but it's definitely the leader right now. A lot of talk this summer about tassel wrap on it, but I haven't seen pollination issues with it yet anyways. Don't mean that we won't, but haven't yet. Filling up with fuel. Left them up here last night when we finished this field.
You gonna need fuel?
No. I should be able to make it back. Heading up to the truck. This bottom here is 117 days instead of 113.11, so it's gonna be a little wetter. Hopefully it's not too wet. And I gotta watch out. I don't want to run in that ditch and jump out in front of you. That's the one George got into last year. Definitely not near as dusty though. Ours is 20-some% corn compared to dry soybeans.
Back up here on the Thompson farm picking corn. I'm going to do a little bit of a review today on corn heads. My Gearingoff was wore out. The knife rolls and stuff had to be replaced, and they got it all done, and when we went and picked it up, they said that's the most wore out. They've rebuilt one. And it just ran 2 years, but it ran over a lot of ground. So I guess we're going to have to definitely rebuild the corn head after 2 years. So I've been running the case ever since. This case had 150 acres on it when we bought it at an auction. It was a demo, like I've said before, and it's really doing a good job. I really like the way it feeds. I don't know how it's doing fluff. I did have a fluff up one time. Most of my stalks have not been that dry. I have to worry about it. They've been green. But you can see we're in some pretty good heavy corn here, and it's feeding very well. So when I get the case or the Gearingoff back on, and it's a little bit tough this morning, not much, but we had a little dew last night. Not getting much since it's so dry, I guess. There's a little bit out there. It hadn't bothered it a bit. I've had one row start to plug up, I think 2 times. I just opened that. Got the deck plates pretty close, opened up that one right through. So it's really been doing well, right over a few hundred acres now. So we'll compare this to the Gearingoff with rebuilt knives and everything.
All right, so I am here at my place. We're up on top of the new 330,000 bushel bin. We had a few things come up, but explain those here in a minute. Looking out over the bean field, which I noticed this one was up here before, but a few drowned out spots from this spring. A couple holes just a little bigger than normal out there in the beans. So I don't know, we'll be cutting those. I don't know. We'll get to them this weekend, maybe the first of next week. So anyway, back to the new bin, grain bin and the drag. So we've ran, we got to about put in 40,000 bushel in this new bin here, transferring, because we're having to dry all the grain, drying it up at the home place and then bringing it over here. And then the overhead drag here would kick out every once in a while. Would not trip the breaker, would not trip the starter. Nothing, didn't have to reset anything. You could just automatically restart it. So this thing has two safety switches, and you can see we've helped it out here to where it won't trip open. But this is a door that kick open, let out your excess grain if we're not flowing into the bin here like we ought to be. But that wasn't the issue. After talking to Andy with Ripco and BJ with Ripco, this has another safety switch that will kick down if the drag chain gets too loose. So it's bringing the corn in here, coming in this way on bottom, dump her in the grain bin. Then if the chain is getting loose, comes back over this side of the sprocket, and your slack in the chain will drop down and hit this, kick this down, and kick out the drag. This doesn't turn all the time. All that does is rotate if we get too loose on the chain there. So we tightened it up this morning, and it was kicking out almost every load there yesterday evening, but did not kick out this morning on the first load. Eli's going to get another one. I'm going to stay up here and double check it again. Hopefully we've got it and be good to go the rest of the way out, we hope. Or we may have to tighten it again. It's a pretty long conveyor, drag, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what we are. That thing's got to be 60 feet anyway, maybe 70. I really don't know.
Got done picking there we were at, back up the farm. Dad's out there changing corn heads. Gearingoff's back, so he's gonna put it back on. Upstairs. Bean crew got going right down at the bottom of the hill.
And we're cutting beans now. And they're better than I thought they would be so far. These are the early ones, so things could change a little later, but right now these are doing pretty good. A lot better than they look. They're short, but they're really loaded up. And of course we don't have the monitors set yet, so it could be off some, but we'll see. We'll get them checked here pretty soon. Finally got going after, it's been a year since I did all this. Forgot a lot of it. I think we're going now.
Gearingoff hooked up. We're lifting snouts up. So you see these Devastators, that's where it goes on the trailer. So we gotta open the snouts so you can get this pin out and let them back down. Alright, he's got our lead on the ground, pulling these pins out. Then we'll put her back up, then we'll put the pins back in a different spot. He's skate.
Well, I've been switched back to my Gearingoff corn head for a while. I know one thing, it's sure nice to have my road guidance back. AB line works a little bit on some fields, not like the road guidance. Move back down a little bit, right close to home now. And as far as feeding right now, the Gearingoff in the case, both feeding excellent. Gearingoffs rebuilt, new knives and stuff, and it was wore out, so I think it's fixed it, of course. We'll see in the morning where it's a little bit tough. That's when I really had feeding issues. I didn't have any with the case. I don't expect to have any with the Gearingoff either. I had the May West stalk stoppers on the case. I got the Devastators on the Gearingoff. May West is doing the job knocking stalks over some, but my preference is the Devastators. They knock them over, chew them up just a little bit, really mash them down a little bit. The May West is alright for a little bit cheaper alternative to the easy dry the bearings to go out and things either. I don't know how they'll hold up after thousands of acres, but the Devastators, we just put new bearings in them every year before we start, and we get along good. So I really like them. Yeah, it's a little easier to get off on the trailer. You got to pin up a couple rows right where your pads are if they aren't that hard to pin up. So we've got a little comparison going on there too. Both of them has advantages and disadvantages, but my preference is like I say, the Devastators, but they are a lot higher, so that's another thing you got to think about and consider. A lot higher price.
Well, the beat crew got done what they could in that field. Of course, there's a bunch of green spots, replant spots all over. We moved to fields, and they moved field. They're right there. You can see them or not. On the black truck right now, black Volvo. That corn is dry. Well, dry enough for us to put directly in the bin, 17 and a half. Anything below 18, we just put right in the bin, so. Save a little propane on this field. It's 1222. That one over there is 117 day, and the other one we got left there in this plant is 117 days, so. I don't want to dry those, but at least we get one field here we can put directly in the bin. Open her up, we got this 40. And then another 50 just right over there I think we can do. Then we are gonna have to shut her down, at least for the weekend. Good news is, I guess so, it's gonna be in the mid 90s. So, which it had been cool, got hot yesterday. It'll be hot for at least the next week. So, hopefully it'll dry out over the weekend a little bit. So, we're not gonna pick Saturday, Sunday. We're gonna go pick some ears, try and find where we can go next. If we can go next, if we have to take next week off. Don't know. Look at caught with beans today. I know they'll be able to do beans next week. We will work tomorrow. We're moving grain from this facility at the home farm to one over at David's. This is where the dryer is. Yes, it would be nice to have a dryer at both spots, but you know, that all costs money. Traded our last one in on this one. So Wednesday video.
Well, after this morning, running the Gearingoff corn head, and I've been running the case. A little damp this morning, not much, but a little on the round edge of the field. Definitely the case feeds better. Both got new knife rolls and stuff. This Gearingoff's feeding good now, but it plugged up a few times around the edge, trying to keep the deck plates kind of close. And the case does not. So when they're new, both of them, new deck plates or new knife rolls, the case feeds a little bit better than the Gearingoff does.
There goes the bean truck.
This is the 12th cutting beans on the airport. Right up there's the farm. So pretty close to home. Had a little problem with the head, not wanting to recognize what kind of head we had on it. Then David had an auto steer problem. Think all that's fixed. Back to going, and we'll probably get everything cut that's dry enough to cut today. At least think we will. We'll soon see. And corn crew's about the same way. They're catching up with dry corn. This is the 12th, I believe.
Oh, we're picking corn where that June storm rolled in, and we're by some trees. So a lot of limbs in the field. Got one snapper row getting out.
That'll be the last field for that.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah. It was June, for sure. Right before tassel. Maybe the end of June. Middle of June.
Yeah, Reese is beating on it. I'm watching. It is jammed in there. This one's really stuck. More help, more tools now. Still stuck.
Came off that tree right there. It was stubborn, but we got her. Way he goes. Watch out for tree limbs. Back rolling. That core, even though it looks green, is running about 20, last I heard.
Okay, I'm picking here on September 12th. And I'm down here, this corn right here was planted on April 16th. And it's testing 18 to 20. And I've got, you can see right up in front of me coming here, there's a spot replanted on May 13th. And it's actually a shorter season corn than this first planting is, but it's like 113, and this is back here at 115, the first plant. So now we're getting into the replant here, 513. Let's see where Mara skips up to here on the moisture. Take a little bit to get up there. Tried a little bit of this, I think planted the same day over on Warner, just a little dab. It was 35 that day. It's been a few days back. So we'll see what she gets to. It's starting to climb up now. Yield's way down. Maybe because it's so wet. Okay. Getting there where it's thick, the yield's not great at all. And the moisture is 26, 30. There it hit 30. 25 to 30 in that replant. That's the difference between April 16th and May 13th.
Well, that's gonna do it. We are now caught up with the corn. Now we're gonna have to go around head steers and figure out what we're gonna do and where we're gonna go next.
So my summation of the heads, the green corn heads, I think the Gearingoff costs a little more than the case. If I was buying a brand new one today after I've rode both these back to back here, I'm going to have to buy the case. I don't think it lasts quite as long, parts of it, but we had a couple of them and had trouble in the second year, but you always have trouble with stuff, so I don't know about that for sure, but I'd say I'd buy the case right now. Especially the new model that you can't get folding yet.
Dryer's running, a couple guys hauling grain out of here over to David's, make more room here where the dryer is. I'm gonna go do a little mowing. Eli's at the bottom down there with the Salford. We're gonna be doing that stuff again tomorrow. So there will be a Wednesday video. I don't know, it might be short because we're gonna take Sunday off since we're kind of caught up. Yeah, and then see what we can do next week. So, see you Wednesday.